Hey, hey everybody. Thanks for joining me. It's Friday here and I'm going to do a yoga flow. So we're going to start out in child's pose. So you're going to lean down with your knees bent, forehead kissing the ground, and just focus on releasing everything and being present right now. So just focus on releasing all of the toxic energy in your body. Breathing in and releasing like waves crashing on the back of your throat, out your mouth. You can breathe in, hold at the top, and release. And do that a few times. And when you're doing it, just think about releasing any toxic energy or what doesn't serve you today. Every day is different. Every day your body will feel different, and every day your mind will feel different. This is why it's so important to remind yourself to reset your mind every day. So after you're done focusing on your breath work, you're going to get on all fours and do some cat and cow poses. And then you're going to thread the needle. So lift your right arm up and tuck it under. And then you can stick your left leg out if you want to try the balance. And just feel the stretch on your shoulder. And then release and lift your left arm up. And then tuck it under. And if you're like me, you'll feel your lower back crack. And then stick your right leg out behind you. And then back to cat and cow. You're going to stick your left leg out behind you, your right arm out in front, and just hold this pose for a moment. Then veer off to the side and hold it here. And then release and do the same on the other side. Hold it here and then release. And then from here, we're going to go into a downward dog. Focusing back on your breath work, focusing on the present moment. And I'm going to walk my hands to the back of my mat. From here, I'm going to forward fold. I'm going to do a half lift, forward fold, and then I'm going to stand tall and I'm going to twist to the right and then back to center. I would stick my arms up, but the ceiling slanted, and then twist to the left. And then clasp your hands behind your back, mini back bend, forward fold, and then walk it out to a vinyasa. And then back to a downward dog. We're going to do a few of those. So you're going to walk your hands to the back of your mat. Half lift, forward fold, stand tall, side twist to the right like you're hugging yourself, center, and then side twist to the left. And then clasp your hands behind your back, mini back bend, forward fold, and then walk it out to a vinyasa. And then back to downward dog. And then from here, step forward, kind of into like a low lunge. Bend your elbows, stretch in between your inner thighs. Sometimes this area gets tight. You hold stress, tension in this area, so it's good to release any of the stress and tension in these areas. And then after you're done leaning back and forth, we're going to go from here, forward fold, wide-legged chair pose. So your legs are wide, your arms are out in front, and you're just holding it here for a moment. Just focus on the present moment. Make sure your tailbone is tucked under. And then from here, twist your right arm behind you, gaze follows, back to center, left hand behind you, gaze follows, back to center, stand tall, forward fold, and then walk it out to a vinyasa. And then back to a downward dog. Then from here, you're going to lift your right leg up to the sky, and you're going to step it through. Pivot and plant your back left foot. Reach your right arm overhead, and feel the stretch in your right side body. Then from here, triangle pose. Right hand toward your right foot, left hand toward the sky, gaze follows, and feel the stretch in your left side body. And then from here, I'm going to go into a side plank. So lift your right foot up if you can. If not, just do a regular side plank. And then back down for a vinyasa. And then we're going to do those same poses on the left side. So you're going to lift your left leg up. You're going to step it through. Bend your left leg, lift your left arm overhead while your right arm drips down the side. Feel your stretch in your left side body. Triangle pose, right hand toward the sky, left hand down, and make sure you're not putting all the weight in your left hand. And then from here, side plank. Now remember, if you can't lift that left leg, you can always plant the left foot on your right leg like this, and then vinyasa. And then you're back to a downward dog. 3 breaths. And then chair pose. If you want to do wide leg or regular, either one works. Walk my hands to the back of the mat. Hold it here. Twist your right arm back. Gaze follows. Back to center. Gaze follows. Stand tall. Forward fold, and then walk it out to a vinyasa. And then you're back to downward dog. So we're going to go through that flow again, adding some poses. So right leg up toward the sky, step it through in between your hands, pivot and plant your back foot over, lift your right arm overhead, and then triangle pose, and then the side plank. So you're going to lift your right foot toward the sky and just hold it here for a moment, and then step your foot through and runner's lunge. You can go down to your elbows if you want, or can stay there. And then from there, we're going to go into a reverse half moon. So your left hand is touching the ground, your right hand goes up toward the sky, and just hold it here. Then lift your left leg, cross it on over your right, and twist it to the right. Temple dancer. Then you're going to grab your foot and put it out in front of you. Padangusthasana A. Right arm out to the side. And then grab your left foot behind, lean forward. Dancer pose. And then vinyasa. And if your shoulders kill you, you can skip the vinyasa. I sometimes do it a lot because it's really easy to overdo it. Now we're going to do those poses on the left side. So you're going to lift your left leg up, step it through, bend your left knee, left arm overhead, then into a triangle pose. And feel free to hold any of these poses longer than what you really want, or how I'm holding them. And then plank on this side, and then I'm going to step it through into a runner's lunge. So you can go down on your knees if you want, down on your elbows if you want. And then from here, reverse half moon. Right hand toward the ground, left hand up toward the sky, gaze follows, and then you're gonna cross your right leg over your left, twist to the left, temple dancer, grab your foot in front, Padangusthasana A, out to the side if you want to go to B, and then grab your foot for dancer pose and lean forward. And then down for a vinyasa and back to downward dog. So in life, it's easy to get sidetracked and taken away from the present moment. And honestly, it's really easy to forget, your purpose or your intention. And when we forget that, are we really living life? And I think yoga really does a good job of taking us back to the present moment and taking us here. So from here, I'm going to go into a squat pose like this, and then we're going to do an inversion. Whatever inversion works in your body is good. So you can do like a tripod, any of that. And I think what yoga really does is it focuses on movement and it takes your mind away from current everyday stressors, and it's a great mind reset. So if you've never done a headstand before, the best way to do it is to focus on doing a tripod or a crow pose, which is where you put your weight, your knees on the back of your elbows, and you just lift your head briefly off the ground. So for me, that's how I started doing inversions. And obviously every day your body will feel different. And it's really a good way to stretch out your inner thighs, which carry a lot of stress. And I think a lot of people forget how much stress and tension your body really does carry or burdens with it every day. And I read or watched something recently that said that a lot of times we personally waste too much energy on things that we don't need to. Sometimes it's on people that don't really affect us in our everyday life. It's running in our mind over and over about how we're so concerned about what they think, but does it really matter? What really truly matters is how we are feeling, if we can give back, provide in our relationship with God. So when we return our focus back to that and not spend so much emotional energy on that, we get better clarity on what's really important in life. And I think that's something that we should spend more time focusing on. So from here, I'm going to go into a bridge pose. So I'm going to go back here so you can see. You're going to plant your feet firmly in the ground. You're going to lift your lower back up, kind of like a bridge. You can do a full wheel if you feel like it. And that requires just putting your palms down and lifting up. If you're not ready for that, do not do it. And just hold it here. And then from here, I'm going to go into a crab type of pose. And this is our strength training. So what we're really going to do is we're going to lift our right arm up and try to grab our left foot. So like this, and see how long you can hold it for. This is gaining core strength, leg strength, and all of that. And it is good to try out and challenge all of your muscles frequently, so the same ones don't get the same type of treatment. And basically you're being fair, so you're getting a full body workout. And then I just switch, so I'm grabbing my right foot with my left hand and holding. If you could hold your waist up higher, that's truly the challenge here. And then I'm going to go back to grabbing that left foot. And obviously holding your abs up here is the real part. And then I'm going to switch, go back and lift my right foot, my left foot with my right hand. So when we realize how much space in our mind we're taking up with emotional baggage, we realize slowly over time that we can release that emotional baggage and send it back and regain our strength in our body. All right. So we're going to move into some yin postures. I'm going to do a deer pose. You're going to bend your right leg in. Your left leg is going to go behind, and you're going to lean over whatever feels good in this stretch part. What it's really doing is stretching and opening that hip area. And it's really going to take a moment for you to work it into your body. So give your body a moment to ease into it. And when you're in this moment, remember how important refocusing was and how intentional you were with regaining focus of your breath. And when you realize that you were able to refocus or recenter yourself on that breath, you know that in the real world, you have the ability to ignore any emotional stressors or trauma that's coming your way. And yes, microstressors can build up, so it's important to return to your practice or meditation to eliminate that. So once you ease into it, your body will give in and you will feel a release and it'll feel amazing. And then you can sit up and switch sides so that your left leg is in. You can stretch out your right leg, of course, for a moment. And then your right leg is behind. And then you're going to lean over the left bent leg. Of course, each side will feel different, so don't feel like it's a problem if you can ease into the other side easier than this one. It just matters where we have stress and tension in our hips or our bodies. Right when you're ready, feel free to release and come back to center. From here, I'm going to do a broken wing pose. So you're going to put your right arm out and then roll over onto your right arm, and it's going to stretch out your shoulder blade, basically cutting off circulation to regain new blood flow on that side. And then when you're ready, release, roll back over on your stomach, and we're going to switch sides. So you're going to put your left arm out and then roll over. And sometimes your lower back will crack, so. And then when you're ready, release and come back up to seated. So this concludes my yoga practice for today. It was kind of a condensed vinyasa yoga flow. So thank you for joining me. I do really appreciate it. If you want to follow me on any of my social media websites, feel free. And I hope you go your day in peace and enjoy it. Namaste.